Space Engineers, and today we're going to cut this beast free and see if she floats. Because we all float down here. Alright. Oh, it has been an effort. So we got everything in place. So one of the things that I had realized, and at the time of this recording, I haven't seen the comments on Monday's video, so I'm not sure if anybody else noticed, but the drills were one block too high up. So what happens is if you see that blue bounding box around the engine, there's the yellow lines and then there's a blue line, or bluish gray. So the yellow lines are the actual collision box. The blue line is the bounding box, the volume box. So what I needed to do was, this was actually one block higher, which means where the bounding boxes are now at the same level, this block was effectively up here. Meaning that the engines hung down further than the than the drills, even though physically, when you look at them, they were basically at the same height. This is important because the fact that we wouldn't have been able to sit on the drills. And the way the ship is designed, the drills actually operate as our landing gear. So yeah, I had to make a small modification, which ended up being basically adding in some T intersections and some more T intersections, which eventually led to yet another T intersection and back into the central feed and hooking up the last drill on both sides. Right, so let's get things going here. We actually want to go ahead. The batteries are on normal. We're going to go ahead and turn on the O2 generators. We're going to turn on hydrogen generators. Now, I don't have any ice on board yet, but we're going to fix that, hopefully. All right. So just make sure everything's working. The important thing is that we have vertical, we've got horizontal, we've got, well, I should say we've got horizontal, and then we've got lateral, right? Okay. So now the question is what happens when we cut this thing off? Oh, so just so you know, I haven't prototyped this at all. I haven't even done this in a separate save. So it is very possible that this thing is going to come down, blow up, and kill everybody. So let's see how it goes. Hey, it can float under its own mass. Nice. Alright, so since we need to get rid of this, and a couple more of these go away. Alright, so I need another T section there. And then we do a drill on the bottom of that. And hopefully we can get this whole thing welded up. Okay, so the whole thing is welded up. We need to drift over 2 blocks and back 1 block. All right. Now I really should put a camera in here, and I will eventually. But for now, we really are just checking to make sure everything is going to work the way I'm hoping it is. I should say, we're not hoping. We're engineers around here. We don't hope. We design. So let's see if this thing meets the design requirements. Hey, that is sketchy as hell. All right. to switch lock. So we're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to go ahead and turn the thrusters off. We've got the O2 generators running and the hydrogen generators running. And I need... Can I get in here like so? And I apparently forgot to turn that off. So now, if we go in here, and we're going to do this, hopefully, quickly. I want this to go like that. And then just to show you, basically we are now sitting on just the drills. So that's the basic idea for it. Alright, so our O2 generator, we should have ice on board now, right? I don't have ice on board. Okay. We'll go ahead and lock in. And then on this one, we're going to say local ship only. We want... Where is our small cargo? We're going to throw some ice into that. Just some of the lake ice stuff. Stuff that we have ridiculously large amounts of. Boop. Look at that. 400k of ice. And the reason I want to do that is because then I can go like so. And now we're not draining any power from the rest of the grid. We're basically freestanding just because we can. Alright, so with that being said, we've got everything running. I want to make sure here that our O2 generator... Why are you not pulling ice? Okay, so O2 generator's not piped in. So this is where we now start trying to figure out where... Okay, so you're piped in that way to there. You're not piped in there, but you should be... Where are you? You're just a regular conveyor tube. Alright, so if I pull you out, it should be okay. Alright, so I need a T section there. See, this is why you always check your work, folks. And it also helps that I left the little half space in here because of the way that this whole thing works. Alright, so now the O2 generator, and by extension, the hydrogen engines. Hey, look at that. We're producing power. Okay. There we go. Now we'll check that again to make sure. Wait, two. Hey, look at that. You're pulling the fuel. Okay. That's good. Alright, so if that is all kosher, let's go ahead and turn the thrusters on. We're gonna take this monstrosity over here for a second, and we're gonna do a quick system test. Where do I want to do this at? I'm not really sure where I want to do this at, but yeah, this thing is horrifying. Alright, so I think what we'll do is we'll come over here. Now I do have an ore detector on this. I don't have the ore detector turned on, but let's go ahead and do that really quick. Actually, you know what? I need to add it to our bar anyway. And I'm going to make sure that we've got the range on that boosted. Ooh, there we go. Okay. Nickel, cobalt, iron. I don't really need any of these materials, but we're just doing this as a test anyway. So we'll put it out here in the middle of nowhere because we can. All right. Okay, so what we're gonna do, and this is something I wanted to try for a while. I'm not sure that we'll be able to get away with this. we're going to set up a second control pad. And I'm going to show you why here in a second. Alright, so show hidden. We want thrusters. Actually, you know what? Let's just do it this way so we can filter this down. So you know how these all tell you that it's left, right, whatever? So what we want are all of the up thrusters. And those are auto assigned. So it should just be U2. Alright, and I'll show you why we're doing this. So what we're going to do is we're going to put our block tools on one so that way we can control this thing. And then we're going to go into groups and we're looking for the up thrusters. And we're going to put those right there. Now, this is where we're going to do something silly. We're going to turn the thrusters off. So we're using the regular thrusters to maintain our vertical position. While we do this. And we're basically gravity drilling. So what I want to see is if this will clear the space that we need it to, and it doesn't look like it's going to. All right. So what I may need to do then is let's bring you back up. See, I know that they have been working on the sizing of the drills. So basically the drills don't necessarily clear as much room as they used to. Because like I said, it used to be a 3x3. And what it looks like is that it has been changed. Because if you notice, we're just kind of hanging out here. And we'll go ahead and stop that. Alright, so let's go back here. Okay, and so if you notice, we end up with inconsistent drilling. Now, these are spaced the same on both sides. But on the port side, we've got this giant cluster, and on the starboard side, we don't. I mean, we're still getting nodes. And I mean, it is technically a 3x3 area that the drill's hollowing out. But the voxels are going to be an issue. Alright, so this will still work as a plunger. It just means we're going to be pivoting in place. Which is fine, I've done worse. Now, originally what I had been thinking about doing was setting it up so that there would be an advanced piston in the middle of this whole thing. And the drills would be on a platform basically attached to a ring. The problem that I ran into was in getting the lift systems in place. So this is kind of irritating because that means ideally what we would have is no connector here but another drill. Yeah. Alright. Well, it works for what we needed to do, and that's what's important, right? Alright, so how much ice do we have now? Picked up another couple hundred K. So that's actually not bad. So we basically doubled the ice in that little bit of time. So it does work, just not as effectively as what I would like. All right, so if we then do this, let's go forward. So if we do that, I'm trying to think about how is the best way of doing this. All right, so we're going to do the little cheat thing there. And then using the keyboard, gonna work? No. I think we broke one of our thrusters. Yeah. We broke one of our thrusters. We broke one of the large thrusters, I think. Yep, it's being repaired. It is currently offline. Alright, oh, that was silly. Alright, so let's go ahead. We'll move this thing over here. There we go. Okay, which one of the thrusters is on? There we go. So yeah, I smacked into the ground a little too hard and the thruster didn't like it, but that's okay. It's getting repaired, slowly but surely. I hope. Let's go take a look at that. What are you missing? You are missing motors, and you're missing 354 of them. Let's go over here, and we will tell production to start making some motors. What did I say? 354. So we'll just go ahead and make like 1,000. All right. So, so the concept works. And look, there's a zombie coming in. So yeah, we've shown that the concept works, but I think what we'll need to do is set it up with a gyro override that allows, when I turn it on, allows me to basically rotate in position. Just that one zombie? I mean, I know that there's more. Looks like there's one over there. So yeah, what I was saying is I'm thinking what I'll need to do is set a gyro system up, since we have gyros on it. Basically take one of the gyros. Okay, so that's hot. Are you okay? This seems to be okay. It's just this. Okay. And you're okay. Just checking to make sure everything is... Yeah, see, that actually took a little bit of damage. Just a couple construction components. It's nothing major. But yeah, as I was saying, since we have 3 gyros, I'm thinking... Hi. I'm thinking that the middle gyro will set up as the... basically like a rotational control. and we'll have it set so that when you turn it on, it overrides the gyro controls. So I don't know how many of you are familiar with this idea. Actually, let me get into the cockpit here. It's just, I don't know the there. So I think most of you are probably aware of how this works, but let's just check to make sure. Okay. So there are things that you can adjust, like the power. You also have override controls. So you have yaw, pitch, and roll. So these are actually based on the gyro itself, regardless of how they're mounted. So pitch is going to be nose up, nose down, as if you were looking at the control panel and the gyro from the same surface the gyro is mounted on. So if I had a gyro sitting there flat on the ice, the pitch control would be the rotational force clockwise or counterclockwise off of the face. How can I? Here. I think everybody knows what we're talking about when we say pitch, but I just want to make sure. All right, so pitch control. If the gyro was sitting here, pitch would be this angle, yaw would be this direction, and roll is the orbital, right? All right. So, basic air navigations. Huh? All right. So, what we can do using that information is that we can set one of those. We turn it off, and we set it to have a control that we want to bypass. So if I want this thing to do cartwheels, we would deal with the roll. If I wanted it to do like forward rolls or backward rolls, we would do pitch. And so if we want it to spin, we deal with yaw. Now we have the benefit that I did mount these actually with pitch being true. It's just inverted. So that's not a problem. All we need to worry about is yaw. So with the one in the middle there, if we set the yaw override, it should rotate on the center of mass. Now, should being the operative word, this is space engineers. You're never quite sure what you're going to get. But we're going to give it a try. All right, so I don't care about those. I want those. Why is only one of those off? Because that one is still damaged. All right. Okay, so now what we're going to do is bring up the gyros. I think it's this one. Actually, you know what? We have a mod that makes it really easy to find out if it's the one we're looking for. So let's actually use it. You are gyro 3. Okay. Alright, so we are mostly level. We went gyro 3. And this should be, we're going to do an override control. And I want this to go, let's go 0.1. And again, this is just to make sure everything is okay. It looks good. So we can go 0.5. And what we want to make sure is that we're not tipping when we do this. We want to make sure this is going to stay as level as possible. So I'm going to go up a little bit just to make sure. And everything's looking pretty good, right? All right, so if that's good. Have to find a speed that we're okay with. That should work. Okay. Alright, so we want you, and we actually do need you to be in toolbar. Alright, so now we grab that. We do toggle block on off. And then if I turn that block off, we stop rotating. I turn that block on, we start rotating. See? There you go. Always nice, right? Okay, so... wondering what that rotation speed is. I can probably get away with a rotation speed of like 3 or 4, maybe even 5. But don't want to push our luck with it. Especially right now because of the fact that we're down 1 engine. Oh man. Maximilian, that was the name of the robot that I was trying to remember. Tell me it doesn't look like Maximilian. Right. What's awesome is I know that an inordinate number of people, inordinate, I should say, a number of people in the audience probably actually know what that reference is, but oh man, that's pretty good. All right, so if we can say. Alright, thrusters all. Alright, so everybody's off now. There we go. And that's actually settled in quite nicely. Okay. So all of that to make almost no progress, but hey, the ship works. Not the prettiest design, but it does do kind of what we want it to do, and we've got some systems set up for it to basically maintain itself. So anyway, I think we're going to call this one here, and moving forward on Friday. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take this thing out for a bit. We're going to get everything up and running. What I want to do is have this ship out and about. I need to go find some silver because I want to get the hauling ship. I want to get the survival kit in that upgraded, or actually finished. And I'm thinking we may go hit that research base over there. I don't think it's got a bunch of weapons on it, but you know, never hurts to go check. And realistically, I don't like having an assertive base that close by. Some of the AI bases actually will have ships that will waypoint to them. Specifically things like, I think it's the refining bases and excuse me. Refining bases and refueling stations. If a friendly faction spawns, there is a chance that it'll waypoint to it. I don't know if that was just coincidence, but I've seen it happen once or twice now, where there was like a refueling station and, you know, a systems ship comes in and it's like, oh, you're a friendly thing, so it goes over to it. And I don't want, given the way that the assertive stuff, once it starts spawning, really starts spawning, I don't want the base there. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. I want to thank you all for stopping, and hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, you know the routine. If you didn't, hey, let me know. And, you know, always feel free to leave comments and suggestions down in that section. That's what it's there for. And until next time, I hope everybody has a fantastic day. Enjoy the rest of your week, and we will see you back here next time for more Space Engineers. As always, folks, take care and be safe out there, everybody. Oh, so now we get this thing charged up and go find some silver.